Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to San Mateo Public Library. I'm Aisha and this is Storytime with Aisha and Wide-Eyed Owl. Hello. Wide-Eyed Owl will be with us off and on, and he'll take a short little nap here and there. So it's time for us to sing. So Wide-Eyed Owl is going to take a little nap while we sing. And then he'll come back in a little bit to join us. So the first song we're going to do today is Early in the Morning, because somewhere in the world it's early in the morning. And the first thing we do is we clap our hands. Are you ready to clap your hands? Let's do it. This is the way we clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. This is the way we clap our hands so early in the morning. This is the way we stomp our feet, stomp our feet, stomp our feet. This is the way we stomp our feet so early in the morning. This is the way we nod our heads, nod our heads, nod our heads. This is the way we nod our heads so early in the morning. This is the way we bend our fingers, bend our fingers, bend our fingers. This is the way we bend our fingers so early in the morning. This is the way we blink our eyes, blink our eyes, blink our eyes. This is the way we blink our eyes so early in the morning. This is the way we wave our arms, wave our arms, wave our arms. This is the way we wave our arms so early in the morning. This is the way we clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. This is the way we clap our hands so early in the morning. All right, that was fun singing that. And our next song is, well, actually it's a rhyme, but we're going to reach up high. Can you reach up high and reach for the sky? All right, let's stretch and reach up high. Reach up high and touch the sky. Reach down low and touch your toes. Touch your knees, touch your thighs, touch your elbows, now your eyes. Shake one foot and now the other. Wave one hand and say hi to each other. Hi there. Okay, and next, let's see what we can do with our 10 little fingers. Your fingers ready? Show us what you can do. I have 10 little fingers and they all belong to me. I can make them do things. Don't you want to see? I can close them up tight. I can open them wide. I can put them on my head. I can put them at my side. I can raise them up high. I can put them down low. I can fold them in my lap and hold them just so. All right. And next, we're going to do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star before our first story. All right. So are you ready to make your stars twinkle bright? Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Thanks for singing that with me. And now it's time for book number 1. The Moon. The moon is like a big round cheese that shines above the garden trees. And like cheese, it gets smaller every night, as though someone had taken a bite. The mouse loves to nibble cheese. The dog bites anything he sees. But how could they bite off the moon unless they flew in a balloon? And people, when they eat, think it's rude to bite their meat. They use a fork or spoon. But who is it that bites the moon? The end. Now it's time for songs and rhymes. And first we're going to do Here is the Beehive, which is a counting rhyme. And it's really easy to do. And all you have to do is make a beehive with your hand, like this. Just close your hand. And our bees will be our fingers. And so how many fingers do we have? 5. So there will be 5 bees in the beehive. So now they're sleeping. We got to wake them up. And so let's count. Here is the beehive. Where are all the bees? Hidden away where nobody sees. Watch them all come out of the hive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't that a cool rhyme? All right, we can do a beehive with our other hand. So just close your hand. The bees are sleeping. They're about to wake up and come outside. Here is the beehive. Where are all the bees? Hidden away where nobody sees. Watch them all come out of the hive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bzzz, fly away, bees. All right. And next, we will do pat a cake. So we'll pat the cake, and remember, we're going to put a really big bee on the cake for the baby. Right, are we ready to bake our cakes? Let's do it. Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Roll it and pat it and mark it with a B and put it in the oven for baby and me. All right, thank you for doing that one with me. And then our next song will be Waves in the Sea, which goes to the tune of The Wheels on the Bus. So let's go to the sea to see what we can see in the sea. The waves in the sea go up and down, up and down, up and down. The waves in the sea go up and down all day long. The sharks in the sea go snap, 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 snap. The sharks in the sea go snap, snap, snap all day long. The fish in the sea go swish, 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 swish. The fish in the sea go swish, swish, swish all day long. The boats in the sea go toot, 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 toot. The boats in the sea go toot, toot, toot all day long. All right, and so now it's time for book number 2. Red, Yellow, and Blue Mixed Colors by Aisha. Red, Yellow, and Blue were good friends. They loved drawing and painting together. Red liked drawing things like tomatoes, cherries, fire engines, and stop signs. He loved painting with red. Yellow liked to paint the sun, stars, bananas, and school buses. She loved painting with yellow. Blue liked to sketch the sky, the ocean, blueberries, and bluebirds. He loved painting with blue. They loved these colors so much, they almost never used any others. One day, they decided to make a picture together. They were so busy, Red didn't notice that Yellow accidentally spilled some of her paint onto Red's. "Oh no," said Red. "I'll have to get new paint now. My cherries won't be the right color." "Wait," said Yellow. "You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of oranges." "You know," Red said, "it is like oranges. You made another color." Blue came over to see what the fuss was about. "What's going on?" asked Blue. "Look," said Red and Yellow. "It's orange." "Wow," said Blue. "I wonder what would happen if I mixed a little blue with some red." "Let's see," said Red and Yellow. Blue mixed a little blue with some red, and the color changed. "It looks like grapes," Blue said. "Yes," said Red, "it's another new color." "Wait," said Yellow. "Aren't grapes purple? You made purple." "What happens if we mix blue with yellow?" asked Yellow. "Let's see," said Blue. Blue mixed a little blue with some yellow, and the color changed. "It looks like grass," said Red. "It's green," said Yellow. "Wow," said Blue. "We should use the new colors in our picture," Yellow suggested. Red and Blue agreed. They started working on their painting again, using red, yellow, and blue, and orange, and purple, and green. While they waited for their painting to dry, Red asked, "You know what all the colors look like together?" "What do they look like together?" asked Yellow and Blue. "A rainbow," said Red. "Let's paint one." The end. There's a wide-eyed owl with a pointed nose. He has pointed ears and claws for toes. He sits in a tree and he looks at you. Then he flaps his wings and says, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." Here are my ears. Here are my ears. Here is my nose. Here are my fingers. Here are my toes. Here are my eyes, both open wide. Here is my mouth with white teeth inside. Here is my tongue that helps me to speak. Here is my chin, and here are my cheeks. Here are my hands that help me to play, and here are my feet for walking today. Willie Mouse by Alta Tabor. Willie Mouse goes on a journey to find the moon. Willie Mouse had often heard his ma and pa say that the moon was made of green cheese, and one evening he thought he would see if he could find it. He packed up a piece of cheese and a crust of bread, and taking his lantern, set out on his travels. He had not gone far when he met his friend, Mr. Woodmouse, who asked him where he was going. "Oh," said Willie, "I'm going to find the moon. It's made of green cheese, you know." "I don't believe it's made of green cheese at all," said Mr. Woodmouse, but Willie wouldn't listen to him and went on his way. Willie walked to Clover Green, where he found Miss Jenny Wren, looking very pretty in her yellow bonnet. "Where are you off to?" she asked. "I'm on my way to find the moon." "The moon!" cried Miss Wren. "You'll never reach it." "I flew ever so high one evening, and I didn't seem to get any closer." "Well," said Willie, "why should it be made of green cheese if you can't reach it?" And on he went. Next, he walked through the woods, and looking up, he saw Mr. Squirrel jumping from branch to branch. "You do seem high up. Surely you can tell me the way to the moon. It's made of green cheese, you know." "I don't think it's made of green cheese. Why shouldn't it be made of nuts?" "Nobody knows anything about the moon," said Willie Mouse to himself. So he went once more until he came to a little hole in the ground, and being very curious, he peeped inside. There sat Mrs. Mole, who came out when she saw him. "Do you live down there?" asked Willie politely. "Yes," replied Mrs. Mole. "Then I'm afraid you can't tell me how to get to the moon. It's made of green cheese, you know. Ma says so." "Nonsense, my child. Don't waste your time looking for the moon. Keep your eyes open for worms." Willie said goodbye to Mrs. Mole. Then he sat down and opened his bag because it was getting late and he thought he had better have some dinner. "I may not reach the moon yet a while," he thought, "so I had better save a little piece of cheese for later." After dinner, he fell asleep, and when he woke up it was quite dark. He looked up, and there was the moon high up in the sky. "Oh, Mr. Moon," he cried, "you do seem a long way away. I think it would be much easier for you to come down here than for me to get up there." But Mr. Moon stayed where he was. Looking up, Willie Mouse saw two big eyes gleaming in the dark. They belonged to Mrs. Owl, and as Willie was only a little mouse, he didn't know that Mrs. Owl had a special liking for little mice. "Please, Mrs. Owl," he said, "how can I get to the moon?" Down flew Mrs. Owl. "This is the way to the moon," she said, and she caught him up in her beak and carried him back to the owl house where she lived. When Willie Mouse saw all the baby owls with their beaks gaping open, he was frightened, for he feared that Mrs. Owl was going to eat him all up. But he didn't know that a good green elf who lived in the trunk of the tree was close by, and just as Mrs. Owl opened her beak, the leaves rustled, and there stood Mr. Elf, who jumped to the ground with Willie on his back. When the good green elf had shown him the way home, he thought he would ask him if the moon were really made of green cheese. But all of a sudden, Mr. Elf disappeared, and Willie Mouse still thinks that one day he will find the moon and have enough cheese to last him all his life. But he will wait until he's a little older and bigger before he tries to jump to the moon, and perhaps by that time he may be wiser too. The end. The wave song. Wave high, wave low. It's time. We've got to go. Wave your knees, wave your lips, blow a kiss with fingertips. Wave your ears, wave your hair, wave your belly, and your derriere. That's your bottom in French. Wave your chin, wave your eyes, wave your hand, and say goodbye. Goodbye, and thanks for listening and watching Storytime. And check out our social media and our website for upcoming programs and events. See you soon.